What's up? What's up? Gerald, what's going on? How you feeling? Let me turn my phone off. How you guys doing? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody feeling today, y'all? All right? Y'all hear me good? We good today? My camera looking clean? Let's go. Let's get it started. All right. I'll give people a couple more minutes to get in. I'll probably start like a minute or two. We can get busy. All right, bet. All right. What's up? What's up? What's up? Let's get ready to get started. I think y'all gonna like this one. I hope you guys enjoyed my video from last week. That one we put a lot of thought into. Hopefully it was very helpful. I read some of the comments later on, so hopefully, somebody's gonna find it useful. All right. Well, hey, listen, y'all will catch me in a minute, or if you're late, you could catch me on the playback. All right. So let's get started. So today's video topic. What's up, Daryl? You said what it do? What's going on? What it do? Let's get started. All right. So look, we're talking about eating to grow, right? And so when we talk about grow, we're really talking about proportions, getting a specific type of look, not too much of, what's the scale saying? If the scale go up a pound or to go down a pound. It's not necessarily about what the scale is saying. It's about, growing into that complete look that we're looking for, right? So you got to be a little open-minded as I go through these processes because, everybody has a different body type. And I'm going to try and address the different body types along the way so that you kind of know if you fall into one of these categories, what you might want to do to consider, making your progress. Okay. So body structure is the first thing. And that's very important. Okay. You can be a hard gainer, it takes you a lot to gain weight. Like myself, like it's pretty hard to gain weight. You can be a easy gainer, somebody who can put on weight like it's nothing, depending on what you eat, or you might just fluctuate high all the time. It might be just hard for you to lose weight, so you can be one of those type of people. Or thirdly, you can be one of those steady state people. And what tends to happen with somebody who's steady state is like they kind of just always look the same. There's no, like, even if they got more in shape or if they lost some weight, they kind of look the same, or they always weigh around the same amount. So you'll know that, if you fall into one of those categories where you may just always be the same weight, regardless of if you look better or look a little, look better or worse or whatever, you kind of just float around the same numbers within that 5 to 10 pounds. Then you're one of those you're one of those steady state gainers. So I'm going to address for each one of you guys what to think about when you're, eating as far as trying to put on growth. Okay. So for an easy gainer, somebody who can put on weight fairly fast, consider this. Focus more on just growing the muscle. So you may not be able to see the muscle because you may carry body fat easily and you may put on fat, easier than others. But if you focus on just building muscle underneath the fat and don't really consider whether or not you can see it, or, and say to yourself, oh, well, because I can't see it, it must not be happening. It's still happening. Like the muscle is still building. You're just not able to physically see the detail of it because you got a layer of body fat over you. But that's okay, right? You just have to break down your body in parts. So right now, it's not necessarily about trying to get lean. Don't worry about getting lean. Still put that muscle on. You don't need to be eating crazy. Don't eat to get fat, but don't eat to get lean either. Just focus on building that muscle for now, because eventually at some point you're going to be able to come down. You'll be able to shred up. That's a whole different category. But getting shredded, don't focus on that right now. Let's worry about putting the mass on, because you're still going to need that muscle cut. So if you focus on just growing the muscle and don't worry about being shredded yet, all you need to do is make sure that you're not blowing your lines. So blowing your lines means like eating to the point where you don't even look like the shape of yourself anymore, like getting a wide waist or something, or, your butt gets too big or something like that. Or, you just get like your arms get too fat to the point where it's like, okay, I may not be able to come back from this. Like, don't let yourself get that far, especially if you gain weight easily, because you may one day say to yourself, you know what, I want to get in shape. And so don't put that pressure on yourself to, let me not say don't put the pressure on yourself. Don't put that Don't do something that you may regret later on. Don't let a small term decision of, a small decision of, eating right now affect you for the long term, because 5, 6 years from now, you may say, you know what, I'm ready to get serious and turn my life around and shred up. And by that point, yeah, you can get in shape, but you may not have the same symmetry that you could have had you not, gotten too huge. You see what I'm saying? So be careful with that. All right, next thing, for somebody who's leaner, right? Decide how big you want to be. So as far as like somebody who's I guess a hard gainer, right? You got to figure out what size you really want to be, because you can eat depending on what you want to look like. If you're a hard gainer, like if you're a hard gainer, but you still can work out, like you still got strength, you're still strong. A lot of times when you're lean, you're eating that food just to help you get stronger. And once you start getting stronger, then you can lift heavier weights, so that way you can start tearing your muscles down and getting into hypertrophy. But you can't get into hypertrophy as much as you may want to if you're not that strong, and you're not going to get that strong if you're not eating accordingly. So you need to eat something. Like you can't just, be on an empty stomach all the time and think that you're going to put on size like that. Like that's not going to happen. But if you kind of decide how big or how small you want to be, you can lift for that shape, right? And so, for example, maybe you don't like to eat that much, or maybe you're like me, you're not going to eat crazy. Like there's never going to be a day where I'm forcing myself to eat 4,000 calories. Like you can smack yourself. Like I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? So with that being the case, I have to know, okay, the biggest I'm gonna probably ever be is like 205, 215 if I'm pushing it. Okay, cool. So because I know that, I'm not gonna, do anything to overeat or over push myself to get to that stage faster, because my body's not gonna be able to handle that. And if I try to force feed myself, of course, all I'm gonna do is get cramps. My stomach is gonna hurt. You're not gonna be able to take as much, pressure in your stomach as you would like to. You might think that, oh, I'm hungry. But if you start doing that stuff for 3, 4, 5 days, 6, 7, 8 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, like 6 months, like getting ready, like you're trying to eat to grow. Like if you start doing that for 6 months at a time, it's very hard. And your body has to adjust to that. Like your stomach has to grow along with that. Your stomach has to be able to take on more food as it goes on. You can't just start off stuffing your face like that a lot of times. And even if you are one of those people who starts off stuffing your face, but you're so lean that your metabolism is so fast, realistically, you have to keep on stuffing your face, and you got to keep on lifting heavy. So that way, at least when you're lifting heavy and that food is, going into your system, it may come out and if you just doodle it out because your metabolism is fast, but at least some of those nutrients are going to go towards building your muscle. So if you are lean, don't not eat, make sure you're eating as much as you can handle, but lift as heavy as you can too. That way, whatever food you're eating is going to your system and sticking to you to help grow that muscle. So don't just, if you're skinny or if you're lean or whatever you want to call yourself, if you just don't like to eat, make sure that when you are working out, make sure you're eating accordingly. So don't work out and not eat. But if you're gonna, if you're gonna not eat that much, make sure that you're working out so that you have enough, the food that you do eat goes towards recovering and helping build that muscle, so that it's just not wasted with just having a fast metabolism. Okay. All right. Now, oh, and wait, let me clarify something too, just so that you understand. Okay. When I say eat accordingly to how big you want to be, again, let's clarify this. If you want to put on 5, 6, 7 pounds, or you want to have a certain shape, eat your food, but don't go overboard thinking that you got to stuff your face in order to get to that goal, because it's not going to happen that fast. Like you can just do it slowly. Like you can slowly build into eating more food, and once you find a weight that you like sitting at, stay there and start eating food like that all the time and get consistent at eating at that level, that amount of calories. But start eating more and then find a place that you like and kind of stay there. That way your body finds its own natural balance. Like for myself, like I said, if I want to get to 205 or if I want to float around 215, I'm going to eat and see how much I'm going to need to take in. But once I find that sweet spot, I need to stay there. Like I'm not going to start eating less. I'm not going to start eating anymore. I'm going to just stay right there and maintain that weight. So you're almost creating a new maintenance weight, if that makes any sense. Okay. All right. Next thing, if you have that steady weight where you just have that body that just doesn't make much change, like, you want to get in shape, but you just don't have that physique, and you don't have the, like you always kind of float around the same weight, I would encourage you not to worry about dieting at all. Like, yeah, you got to diet, but you probably need to just focus on building muscle, regardless of what you're doing, like with your dietary, you know, setup or situation, right? So let's say, for example, you're kind of pudgy, but you like that skinny, fat kind of pudgy. Like you just don't have no muscle tone. You just don't have no detail in your muscle in your arms. Your shoulders just don't look like nothing. You just kind of Gumby looking. No disrespect, right? But think about this though. If you start from rock bottom, the way to go from rock bottom is up, right? So if you start working out and you start doing stuff to actually tear your muscles down, and you're getting more and more sore all the time, you're going to start to build a shape regardless. Now, remember what I said. You're steady in that weight anyway. So if you're always running around at 165, 175, and that's your number, and when you don't look like much, when you start working out with whatever you've been eating, that 165, 175 can turn into a different look if you're working out accordingly. You can't be eating trash, but if you know that however you eat, it ain't pushing you past 175 anyway, and it's not getting you no less than 175 or 165. So whatever it is okay. Like your caloric intake is okay. Like you're fine with that. You probably look good with your clothes on, but if you took your clothes off, you're like, oh, I could do better, right? So just focus on putting the size on. Like just focus on working out. When I say putting the size on, don't put the size on with food. Focus on just eating. If you can, focus on just lifting. If you can lift, tear your muscles down, start doing stuff to work on the detail in your chest, your shoulders, your triceps, your biceps, your back, your calves, your abs. Like work on detail things there first. And eventually, if you do get to the point where you're stuck, and now it's like, okay, well, I know I look good underneath all this fat, but it's still not coming off. Okay, then you can start doing extra cardio and stuff like that to really lean out. But as far as eating for growth, you don't necessarily need to eat any more than you're already taking in. You probably just need to be lifting heavier and tearing your muscles down so that the food that you're currently eating has something to work for. Like it has somewhere to go. Like that food wants to go towards restoring the muscle, not just, going and floating in your body. And just, I don't know if y'all are new to this channel or who doesn't know how muscle works, but I'm gonna be a little redundant today just in case, I got some newbies in here. Your muscles are tight together like this. When you work out, you get sore, your muscles tear down. For your muscles to recover, they need food. And the food that you take in helps your muscles recover. And that's how we get big. So you can't get big with just eating. If you get big, if you eat, but you don't work out and tear your muscles down, you're going to get fat, right? Because your food doesn't have anything to help recover that muscle. Your food has to be helping recover that muscle. But if there's no muscle tear down, and you're just eating food, then of course that food is going to bounce off of that muscle and store as fat. Bounce off of that muscle and store as fat. So keep that in mind. Like we're not trying to build any fat. You still want to work out. You still want to get sore. You still want to tear your muscles down. But give you an example. Just now, I just left the gym. I did my back. I worked hard. Right after the gym, I went to Chick-fil-A and got some fries. Like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like we know that those fries aren't going to make my abs get fluffy. They're not going to make me fatter or nothing like that. Like, okay, we get it. You can have some fries. You can have what you want to have, but just make sure that you did the work to earn it first. That way, that food, those carbs are going to go towards building muscle, regardless of how you think it is. Like it's still going to go towards building muscle, even if it is kind of junky. Okay. Now, I talked about the muscles breaking down. Now let's talk about how many times to eat per day. All right. I know some of you guys don't know how often to eat, or you're like, should I eat 3, 4, 5 meals a day, 6 meals a day? I get it. Okay. But let's not stress so much. Like, don't worry about how many times, what you need to do, all this other stuff, right? Focus on this first, okay? If you can eat 3 full meals a day and like 3 snacks, you winning. So breakfast, lunch, dinner. You got to have a full breakfast, a full lunch, full dinner. In between, you can have a pear. That counts as a meal. Like you have an apple or something like that, counts as a meal. You want to have a handful of almonds, like that counts as a meal. Like you want to have, some crackers or something like that, it counts as a meal. Like you want to have those 3 meals. Like for example, for me, I have a bowl of cereal when I first. I have my egg whites and my waffles as my breakfast, and then I have my lunch, whatever that's going to be, and then I have my dinner. Now, in between my lunch and my dinner, I might munch on something else. So you can do that, and whatever you're, in between those, like I have my full 3 square meals, but in between my 3 square meals, I'll have junk, or I'll have a snack, or I'll eat pears or whatever fruits or whatever it is in between there to make sure that I'm getting in my 6 meals. You see what I'm saying? So if you guys want to get big and you're trying to really make sure you're getting your 3 square meals in, make sure that your meals are dense and make sure that your snacks are, healthier snacks if you can help it. And make sure that those snacks are like dense. Like you can have a bowl of cereal as your snack. Don't think that you can have a bowl of cereal. Like that's still something. Don't have any junky, sugary cereal. But if you want to have like some, like I like Frosted Cheerios now. I'm turning to an old man. You know what I'm saying? Like I like Frosted Cheerios. I like cinnamon checks. I like chocolate checks. I like apple checks. Like anything that's gluten free, those things are pretty good. Like you can have a cereal and use that as a full meal with almond milk or something, So don't think that you can't squeeze something extra in there. Like try to figure out a way to squeeze things in. And if you're gonna have, like you want to have more dense foods, look up which foods that you like that are more calorically dense than other things. So for example, I'm not a big advocate of eating beef and stuff like that. But if you're a beef eater, right, eat a leaner cut of beef. Eat like a shoulder cut. You don't have to eat like a fatty, what's it called? Like what's the one that's the butt cheek, like the sirloin or something? Like, no, not the sirloin. What's it called? Like a brisket or something? Isn't that the butt cheeks of the cow or something like that? So you don't have to have a brisket, but you can have a shoulder cut, and that's pretty lean. And so if you're gonna have a shoulder cut lean one, then okay, that's fine. So have that instead of having the alternative. So eat a cleaner version of that thing that you was gonna eat anyway. And if like I told you guys in the past before, try to eat things that are dense, like avocados, or have like more almonds or something like that. Don't forget to have your trail mix and like your nuts and stuff, your legumes. Like you need those things. Y'all eat your beans, like eat your rice. Don't skip out on your vegetables. Even though you think vegetables is, they don't have that many calories in vegetables, still have them because that fiber is amazing and that helps you digest the rest of the stuff. So you got to have this stuff in your system. Don't miss anything. You know what I mean? Like if you can do right, do right. Don't skip out on anything. All right. Now, I'll add this too. If you're not a big vegetable eater and you're eating stuff that's, very dense like that and you don't pass your foods through fast enough, start taking digestive enzymes. So you can get digestive enzymes or papaya enzymes or something like that. Get them online and that'll help you to, loosen your stool up so that you're actually passing food through your system all the time. Because what happens a lot of times is that you guys, y'all won't get in shape because you're not going to the bathroom enough. You constipated or you backed up from having food that's been in your system for months and months and months, and you can't necessarily burn it off. And you trying to figure out how come I'm holding this weight somewhere, but you really, inside of your body, you're constipated, or you just got years of just backup inside of your system. So start having digestive enzymes. Take 2 of those a day at dinner or after each one of your meals or something like that. That way, when you're using the bathroom, everything is coming out and you can flow again. And then you can start eating again because you may still be full or you may be constipated from the food that was in you from the night before. You might be the one of those people that only uses the bathroom once a day. So all of that stuff matters. If you start taking digestive enzymes, though, that'll help you be more consistent, more regular. All right. And then the last thing that may or may not help you is if you want to put some size on and you've been doing everything, but you're kind of like stuck in that situation where it's like, okay, I'm not growing, but I'm not losing, but I'm just not, but you want to put that size on and you want to know how much to eat, right? Let's narrow it all down. You can do this thing. This is a simple hack, right? Eat more of what you already eat. So for example, like for myself, I know like if I really want to put that size on, I really want to start like getting busy. And I want to start, eating because I'm trying to grow specifically, instead of me just having, my waffles in the morning, my 2 waffles and my whatever size of egg whites. I'm going to have more egg whites, more waffles, and then bananas and some other fruit right there with my breakfast, right? So I'll eat more of what I was already eating anyway. For my lunch, let's say, for example, I have a peanut butter and jelly, or I don't like peanut butter anymore. Let's say I have an almond butter and I got this new jelly. I don't know if it's a jam though. I got to check and see what it is. And it's not a jam because I don't like jam. Because jam is like it's kind of spready. I like jellies, but I don't know what it is. But let's say I got a blackberry jelly and an almond butter on a gluten-free bread sandwich. Instead of just eating one of those, I'm gonna make 2 of those. Right? Same thing for dinner. Instead of just having whatever you was gonna have and then putting the rest away for lunch tomorrow, eat the whole thing for dinner. And so what you're going to learn to do is you're going to learn it's not stuff in your face, but you're going to get your body accustomed to eating what you already eat so that it doesn't seem like you're going overboard. All right, so that can work for you, and I know it works because I do that when it's time to do competitions. Like if it's time to get somebody ready for a show, we want to know what you're already eating, because like getting ready for a show or getting ready to do anything, you don't necessarily want to add anything new into your system. You want to have what you're currently used to. That way, your body responds based on what it already knows. So you don't have to start eating anything new, but the stuff that you're currently eating, just eat more of that. Anyway, I hope you guys learned something today. I was running my mouth, so hopefully you picked up on something, and one of these things can actually help you on your journey of getting in shape. And if it did, please share this video, tell somebody, tell your mom, you know what I'm saying, tell your father, tell your cousins, share my video, follow my channel, and I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate y'all coming in here. And if you don't have any questions, if nobody has anything to add, I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all got everything, or you good? What y'all think? Talk to me. Was that decent? Did y'all learn anything today? Yes, no? Javier, what's going on? You feeling good? All right, well, Gerald, I got you. What you say? Gerald Dream, you say, when is a good time duration to increase the weight in order to progressively overload? For instance, if I can do 180 pounds lat pull down for 5 sets of 13, then how long to progress? Well, if you're talking about, when to start putting the weight on the rack, again, start heavy, see how many you can squeeze. If you know you're doing 180 on the lat pull downs and you're doing 5 sets of 13 good ones, try tomorrow or next time you do your weights, do the same 5 sets, but instead of doing 13, do 20. And then see what that 180 is like when you do the 20. Once you start repping out that 5 sets of 20, go ahead and then move your weight up from the 180 and start doing the 200, and then try to do 5 sets of 20 on a 200. Because what you essentially going to want is to be lean and get big at the same time. And if you want to get lean and get big, you got to do volume and heavyweight at the same time. So keep that in mind. You can't just lift heavy one day and then be like, I'm gonna go home. That was a good workout. Nah, you got to lift heavy and you got to do that volume. So 100 reps. You feel me? So y'all got it. Anyway, Daryl, thank you for saying I'm a blessing, man. I appreciate that. I hope y'all learned something today. Thank you for watching, and follow me on Instagram or all my channels at Get Fit with KB. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you later.